Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Burnt Brian. I've got another video coming at you. I had a request, somebody who says they're diabetic and they're looking for recipes for healthy eating. I'm really in the mood for an energy boost, and here lately I've been trying to get in shape and eat better things. So I've been looking at different green smoothie recipes, and honestly it may look strange to some people, but I promise you when you taste it, it's delicious, and it's probably one of the best things you can do by giving yourself the greens that it needs, that so many of us really don't eat like we should. Here soon I'm going to have the ability to show you over the cutting board as I'm working, as well as seeing me being able to talk to you. But for right now I'm just going to cut down to the cutting board and I'll explain everything as we go along. Okay, so here we are. I've got my cutting board laid out and I have everything that I need laid out for this recipe. A knife, pretty much you can use any one you want. This is probably one of the first knives I ever got. It's a Forstner. I've had it for a good 13 years now, so it still cuts and does everything I want. And so I always enjoy using this one. Other things you'll need for this, ideally a vegetable peeler would be handy, and you'll need a spoon with preferably a 2-cup or larger measuring cup. This recipe calls for an avocado. We're going to use about half of this lemon. We're going to put 2 carrots, celery. This is some pineapple that I cut fresh the other day. Bought a nice beautiful looking pineapple and cut it up. It was tasty. This is actually, I just made 2 days ago. If you want to do some of these juices, some of the best things you can do to help you cut down time is go ahead and prep in advance. The other night I just went ahead and took about 3 of the big oranges that I had, peeled them, and just blended them up in the blender just to get this nice thick pulpy orange juice here, so it kind of saves me the time of having to chop it up today. I also have an organic banana. If you notice, it's starting to get some brown spots. Some people, frown on the brown spots, but honestly, that's when it's perfect, especially for these smoothies. Obviously, organic is the way you want to go with any of these things. Now, unfortunately, I missed the farmer's market on Saturday, so I just went and picked up some of this organic super green here from the store. This stuff is really cool. It's got a bunch of stuff in it. It's got red and green Swiss chard, tatsui, arugula, and spinach. I love the arugula. If you've never had it, it's got such a pepper taste to it. It's one of the most interesting greens I've ever had. Delicious. Alright, a quick note here about blenders. Now, you can use any blender you want in these situations. Ideally, you want something like a Vitamix. Those are really awesome blenders from what I hear. There are several top-of-the-line ones that, that I would recommend getting, but unfortunately right now my budget's limited. I'm sure a lot of people are. And honestly, any blender will work. I've got this this Tefal here. I've been using this one for several years. The motor hasn't ever failed on me. It's great, so that's what I'm going to go with. Now, if I was using a Vitamix, I could throw everything in there all at one time and it would have no problem blending up. But greens, when you're using a blender that's doesn't have the power of some of the other ones, you want to start with your greens first. Before I add my greens, always wash anything before you use it. So we're going to go ahead and wash our greens here. You can do it in this container, or some people empty it out into the sink. It's however you want to do it. I like to have it in the container here. Makes it easy to wash out. You always want to make sure you get all the dirt out of there. Don't want to be having any gritty chunks in your smoothie. That's not good. This stuff looks like it's actually pretty clean, so we're not going to do a whole lot with it there. Alright, so what you want to do, since I'm going to be using some of that orange pulp that I've got, I'm only going to put in probably a half cup of water to start with. Ideally, I would use coconut water. I actually just ran out from the smoothies that I have been making. So, no coconut water today, but definitely recommend that, or if you can just go and get a coconut, that would be ideal. Now for me, I'm putting a good 3 big handfuls, which would probably be about 2 packed cups in this thing. And I'm going to add probably about a 1/4 cup of this orange juice to it. And I'm going to blend this up. It's going to take a few minutes and I'll be right back. Alright, now after a couple of minutes of blending, this is what you got. It is a nice, very well blended green liquid here. And now you can move on to the next part of the project. We're going to go ahead and rinse off our carrots and celery. Nothing much, just a quick rinse, be good. And you know what, we're going to go ahead and just pop our banana here right on into the smoothie. Got a trash can. For this, I'm keeping a nice sink full of hot soapy water. So as I go along, I can just kind of rinse off my hands. I'm going to start by slicing my celery down the center, cutting off these little end pieces that are undesirable. You want to cut down the fruit and vegetable you're putting in as much as possible, because if you're using a blender like mine that's not so good, it's going to have a hard time processing it and chopping it all up. So make sure you kind of cut it down. So here all I'm doing is quickly peeling the carrots. Okay. I'm just going to move the debris off to the secondary cutting board that I have off to the side. Going to remove our ends. And same thing as before. Just want to cut them up into, you know, decent sized little chunks. Just enough for your blender to be able to handle it. Next, I'm going to take all of this pineapple, just so you know how much it is, with the juice and all. We're at about 1.5 cup pineapple. Take this lemon here, slice it, and much like an orange, it segments out itself, so I'm just going to peel it and get all the juice and pulp in there. You don't want to get any of the rind in there. It sometimes can add a bitter taste. So again, I'm just getting all of the juice and pulp of the lime out, and making sure to not have any seeds in there as well. And lastly, your avocado. With this, all you have to do is cut straight around it and twist. Alright, it's that easy. To get your pit out, just take your spoon and pop that big old seed out. Now sometimes if you have a real ripe one like this, you know, you can just peel the skin right off. But since it's looks like it's gonna give me a hard time, we'll just take the spoon. It's a lot easier. And you basically just carve out the avocado like such. Make sure you don't leave any behind. Take a nice chunk of the other half as well. You can add any other kind of fruit you want. Ideally, you want to keep it about 60-40, 60% fruit and 40% vegetable. You know, because sometimes, and until you can experiment with the greens tend to have a very bitter taste to some people, so until you get used to it, you can add stevia to your blended mix, or you can add honey is a good substitute. Try to stay away from any bleached sugars, obviously, if you're trying to do this natural. I'm going to dump the rest of this orange that I have in there. Alright. And some ice. Yeah, you know, about 1.5 cup ice here. Dump all that in. Let's see if I can give you an angle to see, maybe. No, no. Here. Let's try this. There we go. Now you just want to sit here and kind of ease it in. Usually with one of these cheaper blenders. And then hit it on high. A good suggestion with these cheaper blenders is you want to kind of alternate between low, medium, and high speeds just to make sure that all of it is separating and blending down to the bottom and top like it should be. Alright, so we've just finished our green smoothie mix with a little bit of pepper added to it. So let me pour this nice big glass here of green yumminess. Look at that. Let's try it. Oh, very good. And you know, I love that little bit of heat, just a tiny little bite, undertone. I've only done it one other time, and I didn't put quite as much as I did in this time, so it wasn't really as noticeable, but boy, that tastes good. Once I have those Arugula peppers growing, I'm definitely going to be adding some into my morning shake. But you know, this is very healthy for you. If you're looking for energy, I honestly started doing this in the mornings. I used to drink a lot of coffee. I have no need for coffee anymore after you drink things like this. It's loaded with so many micronutrients and so many good things for you. You know, you just gotta try it. You gotta give it a shot. The things they put in our food today is just horrible. I've lived off of junk food. I lived the college life. You know, so to actually be putting fresh organic foods in me is a good thing. So, you know, I'll be making some more things for healthy people and some food for people that just like other food too. So anyway, let's always remember to fire it up. And this is Burnt Brian. We'll see you next time.